Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, well, we're shifting gears a bit, not diving into policy or history, but something just as tangled and definitely more violent. WWE Friday Night SmackDown, hashtag 1370.
Yeah.
That one really tore through the Mullet Arena in Tempe.
Oh, yeah. It was a properly chaotic night, wasn't it? High stakes all around. If last week left us hanging with, the Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, Jacob Fatu situation.
Right, the injury and all that tension.
Exactly. Well, this week just blew the lid off everything, escalated way past the point of no return, I'd say.
Absolutely. And you had, over 5,000 people packed in there watching what felt less like standard wrestling and more like a series of personal vendettas playing out.
Mm-hmm. Very personal.
So our mission today, yours and mine, is pretty straightforward. Sort through the results, the betrayals, and wow, there were some shocks, and just the overall emotional wreckage. We need to figure out the key developments, where things are heading.
Yeah, it's not just about the wins and losses, is it? It's the why. Why they won, how they won, and maybe what lines they crossed doing it.
That's the core of it.
And what's really interesting, I think, is how much the writers gave us for character deep dives. You saw this calculated cruelty right next to pure raw impulse.
Yeah, almost whiplash sometimes.
Right. So we got to look at who's actually benefiting from all this chaos and who's just getting caught in the crossfire, collateral damage.
Okay, good point. Let's start unpacking where the heat was highest, that Rhodes and McIntyre feud, which is now way more complicated because Jimmy Uso is right in the mix.
It started right backstage, didn't it, with Jimmy Uso finding Rhodes.
Yep. Specifically thanking him for standing up for Jacob Fatu last week. That felt significant.
Oh, absolutely crucial. That one little moment, that thank you, it connects Rhodes, the sort of traditional hero, with Uso, who's been the villain recently.
Through Fatu's injury, yeah.
Exactly. Through that common ground, it instantly signals that Uso's emotionally invested now in Rhodes for a fight with McIntyre, whatever their history was.
So then Rhodes comes out, talks to the crowd, even admits his own actions last week, where his word was unusual, acknowledging he kind of bent the rules himself.
He had to, really. But before he can even get into it, McIntyre's music hits. And McIntyre comes out just laser focused, not just on Rhodes, but on the fans.
Oh, yeah. He went right after the crowd. That's his thing lately.
It's pure psychological warfare, isn't it? He's blasting the fans for backing Rhodes despite the unusual actions, trying to paint himself as the moral high ground, the guy demanding fair play.
Even while he's acting completely without limits himself, it's quite the contradiction.
Totally. He keeps hammering that finish my storyline, but expertly dodges any blame for Fatu getting hurt.
He does more than dodge it, though, right? He actively tries to pin it on Jimmy Uso, frame him as the one who wrecked the bloodline.
And that was the spark. You just can't say that to Jimmy Uso, tell him he hurt his own cousin and not expect. Well, exactly what happened.
Rhodes immediately challenges McIntyre, furious, but before anything can happen between them.
Uso, over the barricade like a shot, runs in, huge dive, through the ropes onto McIntyre on the outside, just pure emotion.
It was an incredible moment, total chaos.
Yeah.
But it felt earned. Necessary for Uso's character at that point.
Definitely. And that explosion basically set the tone for the rest of the night. McIntyre's absolutely livid, storms backstage, complains to the GM.
Which leads right to the main event setup, almost instantly.
Yep. Another brawl backstage, and then boom, main event announced. Jimmy Uso versus Drew McIntyre. No disqualification.
And then no DQ stip. That's important here, isn't it?
Oh, massively important. Analytically, it's the key. It told us straight up this wasn't going to be about technical skill. It was licensed violence, basically. It allowed for the kind of brutality we ended up seeing.
And we definitely saw it. It was a tough match. Went 12 minutes, 22 seconds. McIntyre gets the win with the Claymore kick.
Standard finish for him.
But the ending wasn't just the pin. That's where it got darker. Significantly darker.
Yeah, the aftermath. That was all about sending a message straight to Cody Rhodes, wasn't it? McIntyre doesn't just celebrate. He grabs a steel chair.
Puts it right on Uso's neck.
And starts leaning on it. Clear intent to injure, seriously injure, before the officials swarm him and pull him off. Chilling stuff.
And of course, Rhodes sees this happening. He sprints down. Huge brawl erupts. Rhodes sends McIntyre flying over the timekeeper's area. For a second, you think, okay, Rhodes got the last shot, show's ending.
But McIntyre right now, he's just relentless, recovers almost instantly while everyone's distracted checking on Uso, and just levels Rhodes with one final emphatic claymore. Show fades to black right there.
Just brutal. So looking at that whole sequence, that ending,
Yeah.
what's the signal there? What does it tell us about this feud heading into their big match?
It signals McIntyre's gone beyond just wanting a title. His motivation feels almost purely destructive now. He seems willing to hurt anyone connected to Rhodes. Jimmy Uso is just collateral damage there, a tool to provoke Rhodes.
Yeah, seems that way.
This level of constant targeted violence against both Uso and Rhodes, it sets an incredibly dangerous personal tone for their upcoming match. McIntyre seems to have just thrown out the rule book, abandoned any moral line he might have had before, makes him maybe the most dangerous guy on the roster right now.
Brutality personified is right. Okay, let's shift gears from that long simmering feud to something that felt like it came out of nowhere. A really sudden, ruthless betrayal in the women's division. Jade Cargill.
Wow. Yeah, that was something else. We're talking about the second match, Tiffany Stratton beating Kiana James, who had Julia with her.
Right. Stratton hits the prettiest moonsault ever. Looked great. Solid match.
Good win for Stratton. But like you said earlier about Uso McIntyre, the match itself was almost just the setup. The real story kicked off after the bell.
Absolutely. Julia, predictably, attacks Stratton after losing, hits the arrivederci knee, and then Jade Cargill runs down.
And initially, it looks like a save, right?
Right.
Crowd goes nuts. Cargill hits a big pump kick, sends Julia and James packing. Everyone's thinking, okay, maybe a new alliance, a dominant team.
That little moment of hope, Cargill extending her hand to Stratton,
Yeah.
that was masterful misdirection because it made the immediate follow-up so much more shocking.
Totally calculated. Stratton takes the hand, maybe thinking respect or alliance,
Yeah.
and Cargill just levels her with a huge clothesline out of nowhere.
And she didn't stop. Threw Stratton hard into the steel steps, then into the ring post. Officials are trying to get her off, but she's just ignoring them.
The brutality was key. It wasn't just a quick attack, it was sustained. Stomping her behind the commentary desk for everyone to see. And that final image, placing Stratton's leg on the steel steps and just stepping down hard on it, then calmly walking away, it felt deliberate, focused, designed to injure, take her out long term.
And we got the why backstage. She basically said, "This world does not reward patience. She is ready to take what is hers." The WWE Women's Championship.
That quote tells you everything, doesn't it? It's the window into her mindset now. She's done waiting. Alliances, earning spots. That's weakness to her now, it seems.
Impatience is a strategy.
Exactly. It's like this aggressive, almost entitled demand for what she believes she deserves now. Taking out a top contender like Stratton isn't just random violence. It's strategic. It's her way of saying she's jumping the queue, bypassing the usual path to the title by force.
So she's gone from just dominant powerhouse to
To a strategic predator almost.
Cool.
Cold-blooded, calculating. It's a huge shift.
ruthless, strategic, and yeah, definitely memorable. That kind of aggression really was the theme of the night, wasn't it?
Oh.
Okay, we need to touch on the rest of the card too, because there was championship action, new rivalries forming, all driven by pretty different things.
Right, we had the new U.S. champion, Ilja Dragunov, and he got a pretty significant moment with Sami Zayn.
The endorsement, yeah. Zayn basically passing the torch, encouraging him to keep the U.S. Championship Open Challenge alive.
Which sets a great tone for Dragunov's reign, right? About honor, about work rate, defending the title regularly.
So Dragunov accepts, issues the challenge, and gets Aleister Black with Zelina Vega ringside. Great match. Longest of the night, actually nearly 16 minutes.
Fantastic showing for both. Dragunov wins with the Torpedo Moscow, retains the title. Clean win.
But again, the focus instantly snaps away from the winner. Damian Priest comes storming out.
Yeah, Priest, who's dealing with his own injury issues and clearly some anger management problems right now. He just attacks Black, even though Black just lost fair and square.
Brings chairs, clears the announce table. Looked like he was going to seriously hurt Black.
Yeah.
What was that about? Why target Black there?
That's a really interesting question, actually. Priest seems consumed by this rage, probably linked to his own time on the shelf. Maybe he sees Black or anyone succeeding while he's hurt as, I don't know, an outlet.
Yeah.
It wasn't about the title or legacy. It felt like pure, explosive frustration boiling over. He wanted to inflict pain, maybe feel powerful again.
Scary stuff. Good thing Zelina Vega was there.
Absolutely. Her jumping on his back, scratching at that injured eye he has. It was just enough of a distraction. Gave Black the split second he needed to escape what looked like a guaranteed table spot. Smart move by Vega.
Definitely saved him from worse. And beyond that chaos, we also got 2 new matches set up for next week with very different vibes.
Yeah, Carmelo Hayes, he was interviewed about attacking The Miz last week, said something like, revenge is a double-edged sword, and he needs the fans to help him be him again.
Right. Him. For anyone maybe not following Hayes closely, that's his whole persona, isn't it? The ultimate confidence, the self-proclaimed best, the center of attention.
Pretty much sums it up. Very self-focused ambition. And who steps up to challenge that? Kit Wilson.
And Wilson didn't just challenge him, he made a specific accusation. Called Hayes a representative of toxic masculinity.
Which immediately makes that match about more than just wrestling, doesn't it? It frames it as this clash of like modern ideas versus that traditional, maybe outdated, hyper-confident male persona.
Yeah. It's only got layers. Ego versus social critique. That's compelling stuff.
Really is. And then finally, just quickly, Nia Jax stirring the pot between Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, questioning their friendship, which directly sets up a match between Jax and Bliss.
Okay, so when you put that whole segment together, Dragunov's honor, Priest's rage, Hayes and Wilson's ideological clash.
It shows a huge range of motivations driving people, right? Legacy, injury, frustration, social commentary. It paints a picture of a roster with really diverse character goals and conflicts, not just everyone chasing the same thing in the same way.
Seriously, the character work, the motivations, just off the charts this week.
No.
So stepping back, thinking about the whole show, for you listening at home, what was the moment that really stood out? Was it that no DQ chaos at the end, Cargill's chilling betrayal? Or maybe one of those saves like Zelina's?
You know, the big takeaway for me, the common thread, was characters just smashing through moral lines, pushing past accepted limits to get what they want, whether that's a title or just revenge. McIntyre's pure ruthlessness, Cargill deciding patience is for losers, Uso's uncontrolled anger.
Everyone acting intensely, personally, violently.
Exactly. It signals that the road ahead, especially for championships, is going to be paved with collateral damage and raw aggression. Forget the rule book, it seems.
Okay, well said. And maybe a final thought to leave everyone with. After McIntyre actually tried to use that chair on Jimmy Uso's neck, that level of calculated cruelty, what's the lasting impact? For the Uso family, yeah, but maybe more for Cody Rhodes, the guy who stuck his neck out for Jimmy.
For that friendship, that alliance, it just got really, really costly for Cody, didn't it?
Could be an expense he can't afford, especially heading into his huge match next week. Definitely something to think about.
For sure.
All right, that's all the time we have for this deep dive. If you enjoyed us breaking down all this chaos and you want more analysis like this, please do us a favor, like and abonnieren and kommentieren.